Welcome back. I'm Diane Buckner. Next in the den, James Lukezik is a former Ivy Leaguer looking for $2 million for his Niagara winery. James is a wine fanatic with a bold plan to transform his family farm in Niagara into a high-end estate winery. He wants to be a big player on the Ontario wine route, but needs millions to get started.
Hello, Dragons. My name is James Lukezik. I'm a second-generation vintner from Beamsville, Ontario. I have extensive business background. My education includes Cornell University, Princeton, and Harvard. I worked at Merrill Lynch, Citigroup, and Bank of New York in sales and marketing capacity, and eventually founded my own wine importing company based out of Princeton, New Jersey. And today I've got an investment proposal for you of $2 million for 30% of my business and holdings. And that's basically to fund the construction of my winery cellar, which will go directly to the left of the old manor house in the photo.
So the business you've got here is you're going to turn a vineyard into a winery, is that correct?
Correct. Niagara is really becoming, it's on a cusp of this great renaissance where we can produce world-class wines. My focus here will be on a really ultra-premium product.
James thinks wine buffs will flock to his multi-million-dollar facility to buy $50 bottles of wine, a dream he's had since childhood.
And how long ago did you get into this business?
Actually, I inherited this property from my father, who has been in the business really since the beginning of Canadian wine. He sold grapes to Brights for a product called Baby Duck, which you might remember.
Yes,
Baby Duck.
we all grew up with Baby Duck.
I still have the headache. So what age are the producing vines you have now?
I've got a little bit of everything. I've experimented with a little bit of Viognier, Pinot Blanc, Chardonnay, Cabernet, Merlot. I've tried really everything. Now, knowing what I know in terms of the soil content, I would have planted the entire vineyard to Merlot and Viognier. But overall, we've got this really fantastic opportunity, I think, because we've got about 20,000 acres of plantable space, and it's an appellation that's surrounded by 2 lakes, and it's fantastic.
You're the first guy to come out here with a piece of paper on a tripod and have a realistic shot at getting $2 million and have a credible presentation. Very impressive.
James has convinced the Dragons he's got the credentials to bring his plan to fruition. But deciding how to squeeze out the most profit is still up for debate.
Aren't these deals done now with very large wine companies? They buy into this, they take all your production, they do the work for you. You're the gentleman farmer living the lifestyle with all the distribution taken care of.
But James, isn't James saying, I'm a little confused, because I hear you saying I'm going to build a hotel destination on the vineyard, right?
Right.
And that people will come and buy the product at the door. You're not going to have to, you don't need a distributor, you don't need to worry about listings.
Exactly, you're counting on the wine route. And what you're talking about is mass distribution. I'm not, but I don't
look at you say, James, here's a check, bingo. You're still the landed gentry banker guy, and you've got a partner that does all the work.
But it's not what he wants to do.
It's not what I want to do. That's not the business plan. I'm trying to create an ultra-premium...
I'm happy to see you...
Let me just answer your question. I can't do business like a commercial wine producer. They pump out wine on a bottling plant style level.
James,
they're not doing what I do.
Money. What I'd like to see happen is a large corporate entity that has all the distribution headaches cut out of the way, which you don't seem to want to do.
I don't want anything to do with the big guys on this one, because that's not the wine business. The most romantic places to me is that 8-hectare guy in Tuscany that tells me about his family.
I love all that, but
that's
the real
business
romance.
I like. What you're talking about is a bottling plant. I'm not interested in making a commercial product,
what I'm talking about is
friend.
falling in love with cash flow. I'm very emotionally involved.
I love cash flow too. I love it. That's why I put this deal together. If I showed you my business plan, I'd love to show you how I'm illustrating cash flow in my pro formas. This is a profitable business endeavor. This is a very lucrative business.
I like James because he's kind of standing up to you, Kevin.
No, I have no problem
He
with
reminds me of a younger version of you.
Younger, smarter version?
He's kind of irritable. He's very snooty.
That's part of the characteristics of the wine. But if I really want to be in the wine business, I'll just go there, buy $3 million worth of land. The way I would do it is go to the big guys and pump out wine.
It's not that simple. Kevin, first you need to find a site like this. Then you have to wait 4 years, 5, maybe 7 years to get the zoning. You'll never find this, Kevin. Just don't even dream about it, because this is a historical Crown-granted property that you won't find. I guarantee it.
Why don't I just buy the whole place off you for $6
It's not for sale.
Anyways, I'm not in the lifestyle thing. I'm in the, I want to make some dough from my dough. That's what I care about. So I'm looking for the highest return with the lowest risk. It's very interesting, but I'm out.
James, I'm so confused. I know nothing about wine. I'm out.
James, I think this deal is very financeable. I think there are equity players just like us. I'm not passionate about wine, or I'd be really interested. I think your presentation's first class. I like where you're going, but I'm out.
I'd love to do it, but I got somebody else in the wine business, and for that reason, I'm out.
You stood up against every question. You know more about the business than they do, clearly, in terms of how it's going to make money, where it's going to go, and I just don't know enough about the business, so I'm out as well.
I really wasn't expecting, to go one way or the other. I'm a pretty optimistic person, so I was hoping for a better outcome, but I'm happy. I'm happy because I've still got opportunities out there, so I hope something will come to fruition for me.